In a quiet suburban neighborhood of New Jersey, the air often carried the gentle aroma of coffee from the diner on Main Street and the distant echo of bus brakes braking at dawn.
Here, among tidy lawns and weathered porches, Carlos and Maria arrived to begin a new life. Their journey from Mexico had not been easy. Armed with hope and battered suitcases, they landed in a city that seemed both full of promise and impossibly cold. With no family to call upon, each day in America was a test, sometimes of spirit, often of survival. Carlos woke before sunrise to gather outside the hardware store, hoping to be picked for day labor. Maria soon found a part-time job as a server in a modest diner, grateful for every tip. Every dollar mattered. Rent devoured their meager paychecks. Some nights they sat in silence watching the last of their groceries disappear. The threat of eviction soon became real. Bills and warnings mounted in the mailbox. Just as despair crept into their kitchen, their elderly neighbor, Mrs. Ellen, appeared on their doorstep. Silver-haired with a cane but eyes bright and intent, she had seen too many winters to ignore struggle on her block. She tapped gently at their door, balancing a casserole on one arm and an envelope in her free hand.
I heard you're having some trouble with the rent. Let me help.
She lent them enough for rent, refusing to speak of repayment. Maria sobbed into her apron.
In this city, we were completely alone. But you stood beside us like family.
Mrs. Ellen did more than keep a roof over their heads. She spoke to her friend, owner of a busier diner downtown, and within a week, Maria had steadier hours and a better wage. The warmth of Mrs. Ellen's kindness filled the small apartment, even as the seasons changed and the world outside spun on. 2 years passed. Carlos's back grew stronger, and so did his fortune. He began to land bigger jobs, first painting fences and fixing stoops, then managing small projects with a trusted crew. Money grew less scarce. The apartment was replaced by a modest rental home, its walls painted a cheerful yellow by Carlos's own hand. Maria added cheerful curtains and knickknacks, the windows always open to catch the breeze. Their life seemed finally stable. But with comfort came pride. Carlos wore his success silently at first, then with a sharpened edge. He took calls from clients in front of the mirror, his head held higher. Ambition replaced gratitude in quiet increments. One stormy afternoon, Mrs. Ellen knocked at his door. Worry lined her face as she explained her need. Her garage roof was leaking badly, and rainwater threatened her stored belongings.
Carlos, would you please take a look? I know how skilled you've become.
He hesitated, brow furrowing.
I'm taking on big projects now. I don't really have time for small jobs. Maybe you can find someone else.
His words hung in the silence, cold and unfamiliar, even to him. Maria's eyes filled with quiet disappointment. She remembered nights when Mrs. Ellen's kindness was all they had. Carlos pressed on, investing in a larger building project, a leap he believed would finally cement his place among the city's contractors. But he rushed in, skipping crucial paperwork in eagerness. One morning, city inspectors arrived. There were no permits. The project seized up, funds vanished, and debt spiraled out of control. Clients who once toasted his work crossed the street to avoid him. His crew, unpaid, drifted away. The fortune built on ambition crumbled, leaving Carlos waking up in sweat-soaked sheets night after night. The phone grew silent. The joy in their home dimmed. Maria returned to extra shifts at the diner, her shoulders stooped with worry. Carlos felt alone again, more painfully than ever before. On a chilly evening, as Carlos sat at the table clutching a stack of final notices, there came a gentle knock at the door. Mrs. Ellen stood there, thin from age but strong in spirit, holding a bowl of warm soup and a small envelope.
Carlos, I know you made mistakes, but mistakes do not mean the end. I want you to start again. This envelope has some money. Consider it a loan, not a gift.
Carlos's defenses crumbled. Tears streamed down his face. He knelt on the tile, voice shaking.
I hurt you instead of honoring you. And yet, you are the one who saves me again.
News of Mrs. Ellen's undying kindness traveled through their community. Carlos, shamed by his pride but transformed by her mercy, made a promise.
The hand that helps us must be held tight, not struck away.
From that day on, Carlos cared for Mrs. Ellen as if she were his own mother. Every small repair, leaky faucet, broken fence, squeaky hinge, he fixed himself, refusing payment, grateful for the chance to repay even a fraction of her generosity. Do not harm the one who helps you. Those who stand by us in our hardest times are our truest family. To betray them is to betray ourselves, and life eventually returns that betrayal to us. And with every act of kindness repaid, the warmth in their home and hearts only grew.